he had a personal problem with McCarthy for a long time. Him and McCarthy just didn't get along. And it started from, when McCarthy became House Speaker. It took 15 times for him to get it, and that was because of good old Matt Gaetz. But I think even before then, they had a lot of issues. But Matt Gaetz was claiming on ABC News, I forgot, it was one of the talk shows, that this was not a personal issue. And it was, because from what I understand, people were saying that Matt Gaetz was promising McCarthy that he is going to oust him from speakership. And it's just been an ongoing thing. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, speaking about they had a personal problem, they were at there were some meetings going on at Camp David or something, and McCarthy had a cabin, and he invited some people over at night, and they were kind of having drinks and stuff and just kind of hanging out and relaxing. The only person that was not invited was Matt Gaetz. And Matt Gaetz knew he was the only person not invited. So what does Matt Gaetz do? He shows up anyways. So Matt Gaetz pounds on the door. McCarthy opens up the door and says, "What are you doing here?" And, Matt Gaetz comes up with a story. Is, what's her name here? Who? And then he came up with the name. I don't know who it was. And McCarthy said, "No, she's not here." Or, "Yeah, she is here, but what do you want?" He goes, "Well, I'd like to talk to her." He goes, "Matt, go away." And he slammed the door. But it's just like little personal stories like that just show they've had an issue with each other for quite a while. So Matt was trying to set the narrative on this ABC talk show that this was not a personal thing.
So I know you say this is not personal with Kevin McCarthy, but it sure sounds personal. You're
talking about substantive de-dollarization.
But let me ask you about the relationship. Globally. When was the last time you talked to him one-on-one? I mean, have you had a...
Well, matter of fact, just a couple weeks ago, Kevin McCarthy appointed me to the National Defense Conference Committee on the NDAA, and we spoke about some of our aligned defense priorities. So this isn't personal. Some people make policy disagreements personal because their own policy failures are so personally embarrassing to them. I hold no personal animus to with any of my Republican colleagues. By the way, including my Republican colleague you're about to have on next, who's had some pretty terse words from me. But at the end of the day, this is about spending. This is about the deal Kevin made in January. I do resent the fact that Kevin is owned by lobbyists and special interests.
That sounds personal, by the way.
No, it's not personal. It's substantive.
That's an attack on the guy's integrity.
Well, it is an attack on the system that he has used to obtain the speakership. I am fighting for a different system, one based on spending guardrails, agreements on process. Kevin promised us 72 hours to read the bill. We didn't have it. He promised us $100 million wouldn't go onto the suspension agenda without the opportunity for amendments. Broke that deal too, and he promised us we'd return to pre-COVID spending levels. There is almost no promise he hasn't violated.
So the whole reason behind this ousting of McCarthy brought to you by Matt Gaetz, good at scaring people off.